China has begun construction of what seems to be more than 100 new silos for intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. The site is in a desert near the southwestern city of Yumen. Commercial satellite images obtained by researchers at the James Martin Center for Nonproliferation Studies in Monterey, California, show work is progressing at several sites in China's Gansu province. As per the pictures, there are 119 nearly identical construction sites, and these sites have features that are identical to existing launch facilities for China's arsenal of nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles. This seems to be a major upgrade of Beijing's nuclear capabilities. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why China seems poised to greatly expand its nuclear arsenal. Let's get into the details. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. As identified from the photos, the construction sites are arranged in two huge swaths. Each site is separated from the other by about 2 miles, or 3.2 kilometers. Many of the sites are concealed by a large dome-like covering, which is similar to what's observed at known construction sites for missile silos in other parts of China. At sites where the dome is not in place, construction crews can be seen excavating a circular-shaped cavity characteristic of a missile silo. Another construction site appears to be a partially built control center. The People's Republic of China has developed and possesses weapons of mass destruction, including chemical and nuclear weapons. The first of China's nuclear weapons tests took place in 1964, and its first hydrogen bomb test occurred in 1967. Tests continued until 1996, when China signed the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, CTBT. The number of nuclear warheads in China's arsenal is a state secret. There are varying estimates of the size of China's stockpile, ranging from 260 to 320. This is around 20 times less than what the US and Russia possess. Early in 2011, China published a defense white paper which repeated its nuclear policies of maintaining a minimum deterrent with a no first-use pledge. But the latest discovery puts question marks on the veracity of these policies. The nuclear deterrence of a country depends on the nuclear triad. A nuclear triad is the capability to launch nukes from land, air, and sea, and consists of land-launched nuclear missiles, strategic aircraft with nuclear bombs or missiles, and nuclear missile-armed submarines. China is one of the few countries, along with the US, Russia, India, and probably Israel, to have an operational nuclear triad at present. Chinese nuclear triad includes land-based ICBMs like DF-41 deployed from silos and mobile launchers, aircraft carrying free-fall nuclear bombs like Jian H-6s, and ballistic missile submarines like Type 92 and Type 94, which are armed with JL-1 and JL-2 SLBM, submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Each of the three delivery options has their own pros and cons. Land-based ICBMs are relatively cheap, but could be taken out with preemptive strikes, especially the silo-based ones, as they're at a fixed location. Bombers carrying nukes are flexible, but are slow and vulnerable. Ballistic missile submarines armed with SLBM are least vulnerable, but very costly to build, operate, and maintain. Most of the Chinese nukes are currently deployed in land-based ICBMs. This is a stark contrast to how the U.S. operates. The 14 ballistic missile submarines of Ohio class together carry approximately 50% of the total U.S. active inventory of strategic thermonuclear warheads. The construction of new silos indicates that China will continue to traverse the same path of focusing on the land-based option. The actual number of new missiles intended for those silos is unknown. 119 silos can accommodate 119 DF-41 ICBMs, each of which can carry 10 to 12 warheads. So this could see a potential increase of 1,000 plus nukes in the Chinese stockpile. This will certainly be a cause of worry for the US and neighbors like India and Japan. But there could be a more plausible explanation. China might be using a strategy that the US employed during the Cold War, shuffling a fairly small number of ICBMs among a large number of silos. This mitigates the major issue with land-based ICBMs. The enemy will find it very difficult to know where the actual missiles are being deployed and make it hard, if not impossible, for the enemy to use a preemptive strike to destroy all the ICBMs. Chinese strategists could be planning to shift a small portion of land-based arsenal from one set of silos to another at regular intervals to prevent detection and maintain ambiguity. The most likely case is the middle path, which is a mix of both these scenarios. While this will not see a 1,000 plus increase in nukes, but could potentially result in the doubling of warheads. Beijing has resisted calls to join new arms control talks. This discovery follows recent warnings by Pentagon officials about rapid progress in China's nuclear capability. Admiral Charles Richard, who commands U.S. nuclear forces, said at a congressional hearing in April that a breathtaking expansion was underway in China, including an expanding arsenal of ICBMs and new mobile missile launchers that can be easily hidden from satellites. It's also noted that the Chinese Navy has introduced new nuclear weapons-capable submarines to its ever-increasing fleet. The continuous stream of intelligence and latest imagery revelation points to China's growing ambition.